All right. We're here once again with John Dennison in Myrtle Beach, and he is going to read some new poems that he recently wrote in North Carolina. Go ahead, John, whenever you're ready.
Thanks, Chris. Yes, all of these poems that I'm reading today, with the exception of the first four, were written at our cottage in North Carolina, in Sapphire.
Okay.
The first four were written here, and they begin on May 12th. I've written, I think, 36 poems since May 12th, and we'll see how many.
And it's July 3rd today.
Third,
Yeah.
yes. So I've been writing a lot, and pretty much the same way I've written in the past. Most of these occur during the middle of the night, between 3 and 5 a.m. I'll wake up. There'll be sometimes a word, an image, maybe a line that will come to me. I'll get out of bed, and then one thing leads to another. I'll write the whole poem, oftentimes in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Very little editing or crafting goes into it. It's pretty much spontaneous. Sometimes I'll write them just before going to sleep. Sometimes just waking up in the morning. But most of the time it's during that 3 to 5 a.m. time. I feel that the mind is not active at those times. It's more of an opportunity for the heart side to come out and express itself. And that's about all I have to say.
Okay.
So without further ado, I'll begin.
Go ahead.
Arithmetic. Sometimes I wonder at what I have to say. I am astonished at my own words. So, who is writing this? It is all a mystery. Addition was as easy for me as 1, 2, 3. It was always more, and more. As a student, I was A+++. But the subtraction part, that is another matter. I needed an unteacher for this. I searched, and believe me, I found the very best, the highest of the high, and I have unlearned my lessons well. The more you take, the less you have. It's all about subtraction. I am consuming myself. I am dissolving before my own eyes. I am becoming invisible to everyone but him. When I awoke this morning, I could no longer think. I could no longer think at all. Gem. I see the light of your name reflected in the eyes of your lovers. The treasure chest is full, gleaming and shining with rich abundance. Step forward. Do not be shy. The moment is now. Be sure of foot. Do not falter. He has set before you the gem that has no name, that no currency can buy, that none can imagine. Cup your hands and receive that which he has been preparing for you before the stars began to dance, before the marriage of night and day, before the beginningless beginning. Look up, look up. Do you see the twinkle in his eye? Can you see the sky is smiling? There will never be another day like this. Destruction. You took me apart, bit by bit, piece by piece. Where am I? Where did I go? I suppose I knew this day would come, that you would fulfill your promise. After all, it's not like I didn't have it coming. I beseeched you to do this to me. I have been told again and again to ask you to take it back, that I did not know what I was asking for. But I knew, and I persisted without reservation. It is said that God destroys those whom he loves. But it goes without saying, he loves those whom he destroys. Signs. I have seen the great white mourning dove circling above my head. I have been kissed on my cheek by the ruby-throated hummingbird just before day's end. I have also glimpsed the angry dark cloud and have been startled by its proximity. The din and drone of the machines, which quieted for a time, are becoming louder now than before. Signs, you might ask? Omens, you might surmise? And all might probably agree. I have also seen children play like there is no tomorrow. An elderly couple clasp hands before sleep unites them. A neighbor who has forgotten who he is and blessedly forgot his past also. I forgot to tell you, before I put pen to paper, before I even thought to write this, I saw an ant carry its brother on its back, and I knew, without doubt, all would be well. Showtime. Take a peek behind the curtain. The cast is ready to perform. All are attired in dramatic array. The director and producer sits in the first row, expecting the best. The curtain rises. One by one, the characters come on stage. They know their lines by heart, though sometimes the mind gets in the way. The subject is so ancient, one might experience déjà vu. It's the old story acted out anew. The protagonist is about to lose everything, but he does not know it yet. He has yet to experience it. The house lights dim, the stage lights also, as our hero comes to his defining moment. Suddenly something happens, and he realizes he has lost everything. The audience applauds with some hesitation. They don't know how to respond. The theater fills with light. The director stands and smiles, walks up onto the stage, and embraces the hero. Everything else disappears. It's the greatest show on earth. Helpless. Sometimes I feel like a complete and utter failure, a human experiment gone terribly wrong. How could I think this thought? How could I say what I just said? Did I actually behave this way? Truly, I am quite often disappointed in my own self. What if I told you I imagined everything in the first stanza, that I imagined every word of it? Would this be closer to the truth? Really speaking, quite frankly, I haven't a clue. What I know is this. This is what I know. I have given everything to him. Nothing I have is mine. Having said this, let me also say, I do not worry about anything. Anything? Well, maybe one thing is my head at his feet. Pinprick. How he suffers, how he continues to suffer, no one can imagine, no one knows. That door is closed. The time is now. The present is what I'm talking about. I live there, and so do you. It is true what they say. He is infinitely active now. He is working overtime, and he ain't punching no time clock. He has given us a great opportunity. I have seen the sign on his door. I have seen the door is cracked open. I have seen a glimpse of what's within. But I don't have words for that. I don't have the vocabulary. Besides, I swore not to tell. He said, remember me, love me. Nothing more than this. There is nothing more than this. By his grace, this door is open. Hopeless. I've probably said it before, and God help me if I say it again. This world is nothing but a circus. I have heard the carnies calling out to the passers-by. I have been taken in by the two-headed hermaphrodite. I have been smacked around by the strong man. Watch out for the bearded woman. That one will suck the living marrow out of you. I've been bamboozled by the one-eyed blackjack dealer, swindled at 5-card stud. Lady Luck never made an appearance. Even the cotton candy is without substance. Shooting ducks in a row is a rigged game, let me tell you. So too the fortune teller. Somehow they always tell you what you think you want to hear. Nothing, nothing, nothing. As I left this place, after much disgust and humiliation, having lost everything I owned, I came to a booth, whether by chance or good fortune, a booth I'd never seen before. A sign outside read, "I'll take your nothing and give you everything." I walked in. I knew I had nothing to lose. Evening Glory. It is morning, but still dark. Penelope gives one last embrace to Ulysses. He walks out the door. Penelope goes to her loom, a tear in her eye. She begins to weave. Ulysses faces untold hardships. He confronts unimaginable foes. Each day, Penelope sheds a tear. She imagines Ulysses' travails. She weaves these imaginings into the warp of the cloth. She weaves his story into the weft of the cloth. Brave Ulysses faces hardships, so hard there are no words for it. Words are useless to describe Ulysses. Words are useless to describe his hardships. Steadfast Penelope sheds a tear as the sickle moon becomes full and then dark again. Many imaginings are now woven into this garment, woven with love's tears. Ulysses overcomes his obstacles. After all, isn't this the journey? Is there anything else? I digress. Our hero is returning home. Penelope sheds one last tear, takes the coat from her loom. It is evening. There is a new moon. Ulysses comes in the door. Penelope wraps her arms around Ulysses, and with those arms, the coat of imaginings, the coat of tears, the coat of love, the coat of brave Ulysses returned home. The gift. There is a price for everything. Don't ever pretend there isn't. Whether the vendor has marked it or the salesperson hawked it, there's always a price. I hadn't been in this place for long before I heard about a marketplace. It was said this market had everything. One fine morning I ventured there. Sure enough, there was something for everyone. I took in the vendor's patter. Gimme this, gimme that. I got lost before I knew it. The morning got away from me. I wandered the lanes and bylanes, one more colorful than the other. Every fancy and finery were on display. Really, it was a carnival. It was a grand show. I had no idea what I was looking for, though I knew what I was looking for. It must have been dusk when I came to the end of a lane. A simple stall stood with an open door. There was a candle burning brightly. I stepped inside. I never stepped outside again. Every heart needs a home. Birdsong. Ominous is too gentle a word for what I passed through. Did you hear me call your name? All night long, I was trying to send a message to you. The message contained just one word, repeated continuously through the dark hours. It was a very long, dark night. Even the backs of my eyelids were black, my pillow soaked with tears. With morning came the dawn's breeze, comforting my fragile heart. You must have heard me. I know you heard me. I have never heard the birds sing so sweetly. I have never seen a day so bright. This next one is lost and found. In reality, we are never lost or found. In duality, we play hide and seek. We are lost and found. Your attributes are innumerable. You encompass everything. You embody every one. As a young child, you visited me. 7 nights you appeared. My bedroom filled with light. Your silent smile filled with love. Where did you go? What did you take from me? What did you give to me? For years I would stand and gaze, sometimes sit and gaze. I searched every sky for you. I never gave up my wonder. Are you here? Have you returned? Now that you are here, now that we are together, looking back at all that you gave, all that you have given, all that you continue to give, I have but one question. How did you find me? Hunger. I have heard many metaphors, analogies, and stories concerning your greatness. I have laughed. I have cried, listening with my inner ears. There are never enough stories. As you are everything, these stories will always be told. I was brought up on these stories. Don't ever think that I don't listen, didn't hear, though my outward appearance might suggest otherwise. I am looking beyond the stories now, though they are there as a map, a blueprint, the geography of where we are going, for where we have been. I now hunger for what is behind the story and who is within.